Welcome to Important Updates, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. You need to hear this if you care about the future of technology and global power. In a sterile Tokyo lab, an engineer examines the blueprint of a next-generation semiconductor. Tiny, yet world-changing. Meanwhile, in a Beijing boardroom, a government official reviews a list of restricted minerals, neodymium, dysprosium, and more. These two scenes mark the front lines of a new global conflict, not with armies, but with technology and resources. The date is January 12, 2026. Tensions have simmered for years. Japan, a leader in high-tech manufacturing, has just imposed strict controls on exporting advanced semiconductor equipment to China. This move, quiet but seismic, directly challenges China's ambition to dominate global technology. The world of trade has become a battlefield, with Japan holding the knowledge to make the most advanced microchips, and China controlling the rare earths needed to build them. It's a high-stakes standoff. Each side holds a powerful, incomplete hand. The decisions made here will reshape economies and impact billions. The first shot wasn't a missile, but a trade regulation. China's response, a reminder of its grip on the global supply chain. In this new era, control over circuits and minerals defines power. The quiet war has begun, and its consequences are only starting to unfold. The world is watching, breath held, as the future is quietly rewritten. To grasp the stakes, we must understand the microchip. Every part of your day, your phone, your car, your work, relies on these tiny circuits. Microchips are the invisible engines of modern life, powering everything from hospitals to power grids. Each chip contains billions of transistors etched onto silicon, performing calculations at lightning speed. The more advanced the chip, the more powerful our devices become. This relentless progress has fueled the tech revolution, from early computers to AI. But chips aren't just for gadgets, they're vital for national infrastructure and military might. Power grids, financial systems, and advanced weapons all depend on them. For any nation, secure access to cutting-edge chips is a matter of security. That's why the race for chip supremacy is so fierce. Making a single chip requires hundreds of steps and ultra-precise machinery. Only a handful of countries and companies can produce the most advanced chips. This scarcity of expertise is the heart of today's geopolitical struggle. The battle for microchips is a battle for the future, and the world's balance of power hangs in the balance. Japan's strength in semiconductors isn't in making chips, but in supplying the specialized tools and materials needed to build them. Without Japan's technology, state-of-the-art chip factories are nearly impossible to run. In a bold move, Japan imposed new export restrictions on 23 types of advanced chip-making equipment, targeting China. These tools are essential for producing the world's most powerful chips, the kind that drive AI and supercomputers. The official reason: national security. Japan and its allies fear these chips could fuel China's military modernization. By restricting access, Japan aims to slow China's tech and military rise. But it's also about protecting its own edge and that of its allies. The hope that cutting off the tools will keep China in check. It's a high-stakes gamble in the global tech race. As Japan flexes its chip technology, China wields its dominance over rare earth elements. These 17 metals aren't rare in nature, but China controls over 80% of their global processing. Rare earths are essential for everything from polishing silicon wafers to making powerful magnets in electronics and green tech. China's dominance is no accident. It's the result of decades of investment and strategic planning. By subsidizing mining and accepting environmental costs, China pushed competitors out. Deng Xiaoping once said, "The Middle East has oil, China has rare earths." This near monopoly gives China a powerful weapon in any trade dispute. If cut off from technology, China can threaten to restrict rare earth exports, crippling global industries. The world's tech giants are deeply dependent on China's supply. In the quest for ever better devices, the world handed China a trump card. Japan's export controls strike at the heart of China's tech ambitions. China's Made in China 2025 plan hinges on mastering semiconductors, but building a domestic chip industry is daunting. Without Japanese, Dutch, and American equipment, Chinese firms struggle to make cutting-edge chips for AI and 6G. The result? A bottleneck for China's top chip makers, slowing innovation and making self-sufficiency harder to reach. Chinese tech giants may be forced to use less advanced chips, falling behind global rivals. The restrictions force China to pour resources into homegrown tech, a costly, years-long race. The risk? A widening tech gap and a split global tech ecosystem. Beijing must respond, showing strength without triggering a trade war that could hurt everyone. The world watches as China walks this diplomatic tightrope. China's answer to Japan's chip restrictions? Leverage its rare earth dominance. Beijing imposed new export controls on critical materials like gallium and germanium, vital for high-performance chips and fiber optics. The message? Restrict our tech, and we'll restrict your resources. This move rattles global manufacturers, threatening shortages and price spikes for essential components. Japanese firms making magnets for electric cars or smartphones now face higher costs. China's grip isn't just on mining, but on the complex, polluting process of refining rare earths. Rebuilding this capacity elsewhere would take years and face environmental hurdles. China has used this tactic before, halting rare earth exports to Japan in 2010, causing panic and price surges. Now, it's a calculated reminder of China's leverage in the global supply chain. The tech blockade has become a two-sided resource war. The stakes for global industry have never been higher. This tech battle isn't just Japan versus China, it's a global dilemma. Major chip makers like South Korea and Taiwan rely on Japanese tools and American designs, but China is their biggest market. They must walk a diplomatic tightrope, risking retaliation from one side or the other. Tech giants like Apple are caught too, with supply chains spanning the globe and assembly in China. The new restrictions threaten this intricate system, forcing companies to rethink and diversify. Many are shifting production to places like Vietnam or India, a costly, slow process. The conflict is fueling a global race for tech self-sufficiency. The EU and US have launched massive initiatives to boost domestic chip production. This could mean higher costs and less efficiency as countries prioritize security over globalization. For developing nations, the shakeup brings both risks and opportunities, new investments, but also economic uncertainty. The tech Cold War is redrawing the world's economic map. New winners and losers are emerging in real time. This high-tech standoff will soon hit home. The global system that brought us cheap, powerful devices is under strain. If chips become harder or costlier to make, prices for everything, phones, laptops, cars, will rise. The era of ever-cheaper electronics may be ending. Innovation could slow, with smaller upgrades and older chips in new devices. The auto industry, reliant on thousands of chips and rare earths, faces delays and higher prices. We saw a preview during the pandemic chip shortage. This could be longer and deeper. The world may split into rival tech ecosystems, with incompatible standards and less choice. For consumers, that means higher prices, more complexity, and fewer options. The quiet war in boardrooms is about to change everyday life. The world is entering a new era, one defined by strategic tech rivalry, not open cooperation. Japan and China's moves are just the opening salvos in a long-term technological Cold War. Export controls, supply chain battles, and the race for self-sufficiency will define the coming decades. Both sides want to avoid a devastating trade war, but neither will back down. This competition could spark innovation, new materials, new jobs, more resilient supply chains. But it also risks dividing the world into rival tech blocs, stifling collaboration and progress. The stakes are high. A misstep could escalate into political or even military conflict. Careful diplomacy and finding common ground are more vital than ever. But the fundamental rivalry over technology isn't going away. The quiet war over chips and minerals is shaping the rules of the new global order.